Dumbo, I have to see Finding Neverland at a different theater. Because I haven't been to the Pikes Peak Center in years. Well, there is one theater that you haven't gone to. The one in Washington has its Finding Neverland. Oh, you're right, Dumbo. There is no way I could just see it. Because I can't see it in Colorado. There is no way I'm getting that. But is there any other way I could see Finding Neverland if I can just use some unused stuff from other projects? Like, is there any way I can see... Is there any other way I could see Finding Neverland, not at the Pikes Peak Center, but at a different theater since it's already canceled at the Pikes Peak Center or else? But is there any other way I can still see it if I could just... There is one way you could get your new tickets for that because your dad won't be able to go. There's gonna be one way you can see Finding Neverland. Maybe I should go with my mom. Like, there's also a theater in Washington that people haven't seen before. Like, well, one way or another. But in case you want to go to that theater, you have to go to that theater. In order to go see Finding Neverland, you gotta get to that theater quick. But there is no way you're gonna get that car from here and all the way to that theater. Like, Finding Neverland got canceled in the Pikes Peak Center that it did not yet get rescheduled. But there is one other way I can go see it. I have to get to that theater before they reschedule it. True. One way to get there. In order to get to the other theater, well, the Pikes Peak Center has closed one of its shows. I mean, it won't get rescheduled because of COVID. There is one way you can go see Finding Neverland, is to get to that other theater, because they won't be able to do it at Pikes Peak Center. Hey, I got a better idea. What if they do a Broadway version of You? Or Pinocchio, or Bambi, or Lady and the Tramp? Those were gonna be too much Disney on Broadway performances since you saw Lion King and Beauty and the Beast. But there is one last theater that you have to go to, is Finding Neverland. Because it won't be able to be at the Pikes Peak Center. It's gonna be in a different theater. Because Ringling Brothers doesn't exist anymore. I bet Wizard of Oz on Ice will be too doable to see. True. Well, how come you suppose Ringling Brothers went out of business since Disney on Ice, Disney on Broadway, Disney Live, Harlem Globetrotters, and other events that did get rescheduled? Monster Jam was too doable to see. Because they canceled some Wait, what? How did they cancel Lion King on Broadway, Dumbo? You already saw it. Only like one time. And you saw Beauty and the Beast twice. Nala, can I ask you something? Is there any other way I can still see Finding Neverland if there's just one way I can get those other tickets to go with my mom? And is there any other way that they could just put new performances for the Pikes Peak Center if they could just use unused actors from the other projects? Like, is there any other way I could see Finding Neverland if they could just put me into this other theater so I won't forget what I'm doing this year? It's 2022 now. I just didn't know what to do. I'm too old. I'm too old since you're gentle with Blue for Blue's Clues because they're making a Blue's Clues movie. Oh, from Nickelodeon Studios, yes. Nala, is there any other way I can still see Finding Neverland if they could just put me into this other theater and get some other characters from the other projects? Like, some of those events were closed or maybe expired. Well, there is one way you can see Finding Neverland. I mean, it's not going to be at the Pikes Peak Center, which it was canceled, so you have to go to that theater and find it. Like, there is no way they could just find new actors to do parts, because these actors may be irreplaceable, or they might have been dead, because you can't get adult actors to do parts. There is one way you can see Finding Neverland. But is there any other way I can still see Finding Neverland if it wasn't at the Pikes Peak Center, just at a different theater? But there is no way I can do that. But there's gonna be another way. Just one way. Like, just one way. Just one. There was one way you can go see it. Like, if you just try beating Hook, Pinocchio, and Lion King all on the Super Nintendo, one way you can just try your best to try and beat them all. But there is one way you can see Finding Neverland. They could tape it for you, or go on a long ride to see it, or maybe in Washington. Like, some Pikes Peak Center events were closed and didn't get rescheduled because of COVID. Because there is no way that your dad won't be able to see it. Because it's too... what's the word, Nala? There is no word on that! And you are just going to rub my chest. That is very, very private. Oh, Dumbo. What year is it now? It's 2022, Bambi. I bet he's gonna get Lady from Lady and the Tramp this year. But there is one way he could see Finding Neverland. Just one way. Go to a different theater before the Pikes Peak Center reschedules it. Before it's too late. or else he is going to let his tickets expire. But there is one way he can go see it. Go to a different theater to see it. Just one way, Bambi. Like, there is no way he could just find something else going on. The Pikes Peak Center just canceled theirs, and these people kept on moving to a different place. Like, there's no way they can see it. There's no way you could ever just go over there and drive. Or else they're gonna cause many car accidents. Or else he just have to go on a plane. Or maybe just fly over there. Dumbo. Is there any other way I can get inside that new theater if I could see Finding Neverland from Peter Pan's Dark Origin Story and not let my dad go, but find a replacement? I mean, look at hers. Her voice is too replaceable for Broadway. There's gotta be one way he could see Finding Neverland, Dumbo. Just save it for the rest of the video, Nala. I guess it's not that. But there is one way he could go see Finding Neverland, Nala. Like, how is his mom gonna drive over there to that theater? How is he going to see it? There is no way I could just go over there and find myself so he won't get into a place where there won't be any more trouble. I'm Dumbo. Well, I'm Nala from The Lion King. It's that if he wants to see Finding Neverland, he needs to go to that other theater. Because the Pikes Peak Center just canceled theirs and they just moved it somewhere else. Like, how is Peter Pan going to not grow up? There is no way, Dumbo. Because I don't want Peter Pan to get old. Well, there's one way, Nala, he can go see Finding Neverland. His mom has to drive all the way to that theater and come back here again. There is no way that he could ever just go all the way to that theater and back. Like, there is one way he could go see it. Like, is there any other way he can go see Finding Neverland if they could just let him use unused videotape images from the other stuff? So I asked him if he just wants to go to that theater. So I asked him, geez, I live longer. Only like a couple of anniversary tickets that were never used in some other theaters. Like, they should have gotten unused actors to do their irreplaceable parts. So I asked you to do that and me to do that. So I asked you, Nala, geez, I wish Peter Pan will never grow up. They should have got a child actor to do Peter Pan. But Peter Pan never grows up, Dumbo. He flies like you and Buzz Lightyear. Oh, Buzz Lightyear, Nala. There's one way he could go see Finding Neverland. One way I could.